right, actually. I will be right back, people. 1 minute. Good morning. Good morning.
In a minute when I spit it, get with the trick, I just split it. You want the rap was a fiction, my raps are flying without friction. You niggas are waiting on me to drop like the jurisdiction while my back. Would I rather die early with it or die without the question? I doubt clout will make me turn out to be a drug addict, but I might as well get a hug while I'm at it, cause any day I can die, nothing's guaranteed. Never let your guard down, cause that's when death catches you by surprise. Most is something that east, south, north, and west coast can relate. Drugs are like toxic relationships, they are love and hate, and they make you not feel any better. This death doesn't care who you are, the devil is tempting all of us. We all have temptations in our life, we will have strife at any level. From the devil, you can be a rebel, or let the venom get in your veins. You already know. One time. You already know. One take, nigga. You know already know. Turn that beat up. You already know. In fact, turn my mic up. You already know. Let's run this shit. Hey. Roll it, smoke it, pass it, asking the dragon. Jet lag, petting the pet lab, let pen the paper then stack. I bend back, bend that. I stay true, niggas be real. Lie to their partners while having other girls' cats. But tonight we like and unite, no fight to sight. Trap House Entertainment. Can a nigga bar fry? Welcome back to the Boondocks. Let me show you my new spot. My mic's cold and I'm too hot. I don't fuck around with these new cops. They wanna be the man like Chewbacca. I'm too smooth and I move proper. We burn it down and we lootin'. Black Panthers need a new movement. If you shot, then we shootin'. Just call me Huey P. Newton or Fred Hampton. Uncle Ruckus, I can't stand him. In a nigga moment, I get active. You know help, like a thin jacket. You so fake that you look plastic. And I'm so real, you can't look past it. Y'all get drawn on like a cartoon. And I stay sharp like a harpoon. Turn the lights out, I like a dark room. The Boondocks about to start soon. Y'all get drawn on like a cartoon. And I stay sharp like a harpoon. Turn the lights out, I like a dark room. The Boondocks about to start soon. We talk politics and that's a big fact. The culture war you can't skip past. Yeah, I jumped in, made a big splash, then hopped out with a big bag and collect cash like it's knickknacks. Plus I pimp hoes like I'm slick back. You a big bitch with a big bag and she eat a dick like a Big Mac. It's a sitcom but ain't shit funny, cause the situation can get ugly. Granddad, my big buddy, about to wild out like Jim Rummy. Might crash out on big dummies, about to cash out, that's big money. I play around with a big budget, but y'all niggas can't get shit from drawn on like a cartoon. And I stay sharp like a harpoon. Turn the lights out, I like a dark room. The Boondocks about to start soon. Y'all get drawn on like a cartoon. And I stay sharp like a harpoon. Turn the lights out, I like a dark room. The Boondocks about to start soon. You do realize that light skin hoe is a hoe, right, Granddad? Trap House Entertainment. Can a nigga bar fry? Welcome back to the Boondocks. Let me show you my new spot. My mic's cold and I'm too hot. I don't fuck around with these new cops. They wanna be the man like Chewbacca. I'm too smooth. Proper. We burn it down and we.
I'm just saying. So that guy, somebody liked that song, that Boondocks song. And so I went to their page and I listened to like a couple of their songs. I don't know, man. I don't be trying to like brag on my writing. Well, I do a little bit. But now, that shit don't sound good to me. I just gotta be honest to you, broski. That shit not super hot fire, man. But then I also noticed too, like they must have just got back on Suno or just started using Suno again because they don't have any songs in the newest version of Suno. Like when I went through their playlist, all their music was from like the older version of Suno. So that's what's up. As soon as they got back on Suno, I was one of the first artists they checked out. I like it. But I wish it. I don't know. I might listen to some more of their stuff. I want to like one of their songs because they like one of mine. Just trying to find which one that is.
I was the captain of a ship, it was named the Titanic. We all sang against slavery. Drugs and genuine love and passion until they banned it. We couldn't stand it. We were citizens on my own ship. What the hell is that shit? They try to silence real issues. I like the glorifying and the misuse. They tear apart our tissues, but promote the other boat's drama while our trauma gets drowned. We set up from England. They said to us, don't sing about the shit that doesn't bring clicks, or your ship will be down real quick. We promise to be on our best behavior. Behind our backs, we pray, forgive me, Savior. They try to silence real issues. I like the glorifying and the misuse. They tear apart our tissues, but promote the other boat's trauma while our trauma gets drowned. Mid-trip, we sing drugs and fake love. It's really just misery. And our heart goes out to all the slaves in the grave, and we pray for the ones who paved this black's way. We sing about our families, no matter if you're good, if you lived it, then you lived it. We sing for good, we sing against bad, we empower each other, so even when we're sad, we can feel happy. Yeah. While we was asleep, they heard we broke the rules, so they said fools. Got all the tools, we crashed into something in the water. It was an iceberg trying to slaughter. We prayed for the sons, we prayed for the daughters. We prayed that we wouldn't be just another. We sent off the light boats, did it in a hush till we realized that was not enough for the rest of us. Only some could tell the truth. While we were all left behind, they don't care for a creative mind, just the money confined in their wallet. The ship went in the water, went in the shadows, but I wasn't mad, no. I knew some got away and would tell a tale. They didn't have a system for checks in the mail. They did what they thought real. And as for me, well, I won't last long, but my message will live. That's why I made this song. And to my family, I really miss you. But when it's your time to meet the heavens, it will no longer be an issue. Dear Heavenly Father. Need to move? Choose Pods, the most awarded container moving company. Pods brings the container to you, then we'll take it to your new home or store it at a secure pod storage center. And you don't have to do the driving. Trust Pods with your next move. Look at pods.com.
Came up with this riff, and here's how Suno Studio turned into a full song in less than 5 minutes. I uploaded it into Studio and instantly built a full mix around it. You can edit the style and hit create. Here I am.
So by this point, you've no doubt heard that Claude Code is just blowing everyone's mind. And a few hours ago, the brand new version of Claude Code is officially out. If you haven't heard all the recent noise about Claude Code, basically, a lot of people are saying that the capabilities of these models and harnesses like Claude Code, they reached a certain capability where things feel different. They got to a certain level where we're now going to really start feeling the impact. People are saying that learning Claude is the best upskill this year. Here's someone who's a principal engineer at Google. She's saying, I'm not joking, and this isn't funny. We have been trying to build distributed agent orchestrators at Google since last year. So she works at Google. Keep that in mind. There are various options. Not everyone's aligned. I gave Claude Code a description of the problem. It generated what we built last year in 1 hour. It's not perfect, and I'm iterating on it, but this is where we are right now. If you're skeptical of coding agents, try it on a domain you are already an expert of. Build something complex from scratch where you can be the judge of the artifacts. At the same time, Ethan Malik of One Useful Thing gave it a prompt to develop a business that generates $1,000 a month, and where Ethan, it doesn't do any of the work, where Claude takes care of the entire business. Was Claude Code able to do this thing? It seemed like it did. Now, Ethan did pull it down. He wasn't comfortable putting up. You'll see what happens in just a second, but we're at a very different point in history right now. We're at a point where things like this are becoming possible. But I do think it's noteworthy that this principal engineer at Google, that works at Google, they have their own coding models, they have their own ways of coding stuff up. Gemini, they have the Gemini coding models, everything else, some of the best engineers in the world. Still, they're saying, Claude Code did something really amazing that really does feel like an inflection point of sorts, does it not? I'm going to give this one a follow. Now, one thing that I do want everybody to keep an eye out for, because I've been publishing these news for quite some time, and it happens every single time, and it's always hilarious, and I know it's going to happen here again, and that is the shifting goalposts. As these models get better and better and are able to do more and more wonderful things, there's a certain percentage of the population that invariably says, oh yeah, of course it can build this insane thing that it couldn't 6 months ago, and nobody could imagine that it would be able to build it, but it can't build this other thing that maybe a handful of people in the world can build. Right, so the goalposts are always shifting. In a minute, we'll see how Ethan Malik tried to get Claude Code to build a functional, viable business. As you'll see, we're probably a lot closer to that than we've imagined, but just know when we cross that line, invariably there will be people that are saying, oh yeah, so what? Why can't it build $1 million business and eventually $1 billion business? It'll just keep shifting. Here's Mustafa Suleyman. So he was one of the co-founders of DeepMind. He's working with Microsoft at the time. He's saying the next big milestone I'm watching out for on our way to AGI, Artificial Capable Intelligence, ASI. Can an agent take $100,000 and legally turn it into 1 million? To me, that's the modern Turing test. So kind of keep that in mind. To him, that is sort of the modern Turing test. But you got to think of it this way: like, how many humans can reliably do this? As AI safety memes put out here, can AIs act human-like for 10 minutes, right? And then, once we pass that, immediately they're like, can AIs become millionaires? So his point here is that the goalposts, they have been lifted, and now they are leaving the stadium and just moving down the street further and further away. This is the kind of the AI skeptics taking the goalposts of what AI should be able to do to be considered, good or AGI, and they're just, moving across the country with it. By the way, Mustafa Suleiman, he had this modern Turing test from a while ago. I think we covered like a year or a year and a half ago. So he's not moving his goalposts. He kept his goalposts at the same place. He's not moving it anywhere. But I did want to point out this article.
Yeah, it won't let me fucking sign into my Claude account. Yo, it won't let me get in here. What the fuck is going on? That shit is crazy. It will not let me. Yo. Nope. I don't know. Does it need to be updated? It doesn't say I need to update. No, it won't. Okay. Oh, there it goes. I don't know what happened. So let me sign in on that on one account. It's so stupid. It let me sign in on my work account, but it won't let me sign in on my personal account. There we go. All right, so that's good to know. I'm sitting here on Claude for a minute because this dude is like bragging on Claude so hard right now.
Ethan Malik. So he's got a Substack at One Useful Thing, because the thing that he's pointing out, and something that I think a lot of people are missing, is this. A lot of the efforts in the AI space, a lot of the kind of development efforts were focused on coding for whatever reason. I mean, engineers know coding, so if they can get something to code that's, reducing their workload, obviously it's something that has a lot of financial sort of rewards. If you can replace coders or assist them, augment them somehow, definitely that's very economically valuable. But it's not that coding is somehow unique or special. This thing is coming for every profession. It's coming for marketers, for researchers, for office managers, just whatever you're doing for a lot of the knowledge work. This will become an indispensable part of your toolkit. It might become the entire toolkit. I got to give credit to David Shapiro. He recently posted a video where he talked about this. He compared it to the jet pilots because of how quickly things happen when you're flying a jet. They try to offload as much of their thinking to various automated systems as much as possible because there's just not enough time for a human brain to process information that fast. So it's this idea of cognitive offloading. Right, so similar to how we can do work by moving stuff around, like physical work, move stuff around, hammer things to the wall, etc. There's only so much of that you can do in a given day without recovering. You can think of it the same way with cognitive labor. Some tasks are light and easy to lift, and some are very, very heavy and will just completely drain all your resources. And when you need to move fast, business with work, if you're trying to get something done, the more stuff you can offload, the better. So if you're, a manager, if you can offload it to the people that you've hired, that allows you to do more. In the future, more and more of this cognitive offloading will happen to these machines. 5 years ago, if I wanted to start an e-commerce business, I would have to do everything by hand, set up the websites and install Shopify or whatever I'm using, get the pictures and the descriptions and everything had to be done by hand. Already we're in an era where not everything is going to be done by hand. I would never write out product descriptions by hand. I would use a large language model to help me write it out, and I would massage it a little bit, change it, but a lot of that would be written by a large language model with my oversight. Same thing with images. Most like if I need a quick HTML page for opt-in for email capture, whatever, I might actually have an LLM also code that up really fast. But those are still me using it as a tool with oversight. We're now moving into the era of the agents, where a lot more of the tasks we can actually complete autonomously. And I think that's why this is such an interesting article to look at, because I think it kind of gives you a glimpse into what's happening, what's coming just around the corner. And in fact, what he's describing here, it's already here. So he's saying I opened Cloud Code and gave it the command, develop a web-based or software-based startup idea that will make me $1,000 a month, where you do all the work by generating the idea and implementing it. I shouldn't have to do anything at all except run some program you give me once. It shouldn't require any coding knowledge on my part, so make sure everything works well. So think about that. The human labor part of this equation is I just need to double click on some program and that's it.
Apparently, I can just tell AI what I want and it built it for free. Hi, my name is Mia and I've been creating software for over a year and literally launched 3 apps. But I just found out that Replit made fast mode and it's like being right in my check this out. I tell it what I want, it finds the right file, it makes the changes fast. And by fast, I'm talking seconds. And guys, this is all completely free right now. They're basically just giving it away. So if you've been curious about building something, an app, a website, whatever, and you have zero idea how to code, this is literally the easiest it's ever been.
If one slip and fall ended your business. Restaurants are high risk. One accident can lead to lawsuits, medical bills, and even closing your doors for good. Next Insurance covers everything from lost income to liability. And if something happens, their average claim is resolved quickly. You can also pull a certificate of insurance. Clients love it, and it keeps you covered. Starting at only $25 per month. Fully digital, cancel anytime, and customize your coverage for your restaurant's needs. Stop gambling.
Starts printing money. How insane would it be to hear this, 5 years ago? before the ChatGPT moment, this would be completely out of the realm of what we would think of as being possible. So the AI asked me 3 multiple choice questions, right? The nerve, how dare it ask questions? It should just do it. It should just
space scholarship. I was 18 years old. I was kind of dumb. I was at college, and I kind of thought that all of my friends were in broadly the same situation that I was. Again, I was not thinking about this. And so when I saw them kind of going out to clubs and going to nice restaurants and going shopping all the time, I was like, oh, this must be a budgeting problem. My friends must be great at budgeting. So I chose to learn budgeting with my work to the paycheck to try and figure out ways that I could make that work. Where I could go to those clubs, go to those restaurants, go shopping, and like still have those same experiences that all my friends were having. And it wasn't working. It did not work very well at all, actually. And no matter how hard I budgeted, it was still a struggle because the best budget in the world can't save you if you aren't making enough money. And obviously, when I finally got the courage to ask and stop being dumb, all of my friends were, of course, being sent money by their parents. Obviously. Obviously. They were not in the same kind of financial situation that I was at home, and that was really obvious in retrospect, but I was dumb and I didn't think about it. And those 3 sources, additional funds that I mentioned earlier, debt, savings, and expenses, are all fundamentally, at the end of the day, just different ways of managing and creating additional scarcity. But there is a 4th place to look, and I hope that it'll change the way that you see your business, and that is new opportunities. This is where you specifically create new income to achieve a goal or cover a new expense. You're not taking from any of the existing sources or buckets or whatever you want to call them. Instead, you are generating new revenue, expanding your capacity to make money in your business. And if you want help figuring out what this looks like for you, I'm going to link a free worksheet that I made below that was tailor-made to go along with this video. And I know what you're thinking. Okay, sure, Kelsey, that's all well and good. I love making money. New opportunities, that sounds great, but it's not actually that easy. It's not actually that easy for me to make more money in my business. And are you sure?
The Google Career Certificate helped me develop skills to get my first job, but then it really served to be the foundation for the rest of my career.
Like, actually, are you sure? Are you sure that if you thought about it for more than a couple seconds, you couldn't find like half a dozen places where you are actively leaving money on the table in your business? When you post, are you doing regular call to actions? Are you putting on your salesperson hat often enough in your business? Do you have an email newsletter? And if so, when was the last time that you explicitly sent a sales email where you actually said, hey, here is this thing. Do you want it? If so, that's awesome. Here's a link to it. When did you last do that? When was the last time that you launched a new product or had a flash sale? And listen, I get it. You feel stuck. It's fine that you feel stuck. It's fine that you are frustrated, but that is a feeling. That does not have to be reality. You do not have to be stuck. If you decided that next month was going to be the best revenue month you have ever had, that you could make that happen if you wanted to. And let me give you an example. So this past Black Friday, I made over $4,000 in 3 days by sending just two emails to my list. I had originally planned out this whole elaborate thing, but then I was just, kind of slammed with work before Thanksgiving. And then after Thanksgiving, I had food poisoning and it was a whole thing. And my plan got kind of tossed out the window. But that weekend, sick and recovering, I just wanted to try anyway. I kind of just wanted to be like, happen if I phoned it in? What would happen if I just put in literally any amount of effort and did not allow myself to give up, basically, right? So I sent a super simple email. It was just literally me telling people, hey, I have food poisoning. I was gonna do this whole thing. So here's the deal. There's 30% off of my book for the next 3 days. And then I linked a testimonial and a countdown timer, and that was it. I just didn't allow myself to overthink it. I just wrote a super quick email and then hit send. And then 2 days later, when I was feeling thankfully a lot better, I sent a kind of normal newsletter, something actionable, value-packed, thoughtful, and All I did was just have a little brief reminder of the sale that ended that night. 2 emails. And I did not mention this sale literally anywhere else. I didn't mention it on YouTube. I'm not active on Instagram. I didn't mention it on Threads. I only sent these 2 emails to my list. And just those 2 emails generated over $4,000 in additional revenue that I would not have otherwise made. And sure, I already had the audience and I already had the product, but I'm willing to bet that there are some folks that follow you right now, and there's some unsold inventory in your online store literally right now. I'm willing to bet that you have creative work that you have not sold, like 15 feet away from you, literally right now. So just think about it. Just pick up the money that you are leaving on the table. There is this great story of how Paul McCartney and John Lennon would sit down to write a song together and say to themselves, okay, let's write a swimming pool. And in a few hours, they would have a new hit song that would pay for, a big goal that one of them had. Obviously, not all of us are the Beatles, but I think this is kind of a really healthy way to think about money in your business, to not be so obsessed with managing scarcity, but to instead expand your capacity to make money. And by far, the best way to expand your revenue is to create what's called a high leverage asset. A high leverage asset has a few properties. Number 1, it is a thing that people actually want. Number 2, it's a product that you believe in, right? Like that you have confidence in. And number 3, it can be sold an infinite number of times. For the Beatles, that's a song, right? Like Help, for example, which I think might actually be the literal song they wrote in that pool story. And for creatives like us, this could be a song, or it could be a print collection, or merchandise, or digital products, or even an online course. And that worksheet that I mentioned earlier will have a ton of examples for this. But the kind of flip side, the disadvantage of a high leverage asset is the time that it takes to create it, right? For all of their long-term benefits, there will be a very fixed short-term cost. Personally, I think this cost is worth it. I have paid it before, and I will pay it again because I know that it works, because it always drives results for me in my business. It is the thing that takes me to that next level. So about a year ago, I released a book. It is 200 pages long. It's very comprehensive. It's kind of like the overview of everything that I kind of learned about business and marketing. And the bulk of that book was written and designed, of course, all by me, but in like a 6 to 8 week period. And number 1, it was a really fun time. As someone that very much has a one-track mind,
The weekend. It's the weekend.
Give me just a minute. I'm
giving myself.
So, yeah, I take a lot of evenings now to listen to this young lady and another art marketer. And that's a really good idea. Just have a flash sale, because I do have like several prints. Also, Wendy, I would like to send you a gift for being just such an awesome friend over the past year. So if you want, my email is always very simple. So my email is my first and last name, which is Travis Prince. And then it's the year I was born, which is 81. And it's a Yahoo account. So Travis Prince 81 at Yahoo. If you want, you can send me your address, and so I can send you a gift. I need to ask Umizu for his address too. Oh man. But yes, I have been like actively trying to educate myself a little more and get more of this business stuff aligned. I feel like I want to do more time lapse on this part, but at the same time, I feel like it's so hard to actually see a distinct change that I'm making right now with this set of colors. So I might wait until I hop into the green paint before I do another time lapse, and definitely do a time lapse on adding the bright white highlights, because that's really is what going to make the candies pop out and make it look shiny, is like the super white parts. So I will have to let it dry almost completely before I add that. So it'll be a really deep contrast to it. Okay. If that one is done, well, I might actually just try to do this one. Right. Yeah, let's try. All right, this is gonna be a lot of red on here.
Space, like devote myself entirely to one project was so refreshing and so incredible. And really importantly, that time that I spent paid off. I have made tens of thousands of dollars from that product. And in 2026, I'm kind of hoping that I can get it in the hands of thousands of creatives. What I would suggest is that if you are really serious about building wealth in your business, if you really want to break six figures in 2026, you need to make a plan now, like right now, to spend at least 3 months spaced throughout the year working on creating a high leverage asset. That you make the creation of that product a priority for you, even if it means that you are a little less social during that time, or you have to compromise even just slightly on work-life balance, or that you take a short-term revenue hit as a result, because even just a single high leverage asset in your business, coupled with a solid sales strategy, won't just fund one expense. It won't just solve your problems one time. It could fund dozens of new expenses. It could truly take your business to the next level. And over time, if you were to lean into that strategy, if you were to create like several high leverage assets, achieving your revenue goals would become ridiculously easy. When I made $4,000 over Black Friday, it wasn't just from selling my book, because I have done a bunch of these sprints. I have a variety of high leverage assets in my business at different price points, and I show them on the checkout page as little order bumps, as little add-ons people can purchase if they want to. So people can super easily add them to their order, boosting my average order value. And if you wanted to like kind of speed run making 6 figures in 2026, you could pretty easily do that by just creating 3 high leverage assets. You'll need 1 low ticket, 1 high ticket, 1 medium ticket, ideally in that order. Like start low, build confidence, then go hard, build an expensive thing, and then kind of fill that gap in the middle that you have. And generally, the pricing structure that I would suggest would be to have your low ticket be probably under $100. Then for your high ticket, 500 plus. Like go hard, be really creative there. Think about what value you could bring to the table, and then your medium ticket will kind of live in the middle of those 2 price points, right? Maybe it's like $250, or maybe it's like $400, whatever you want to make it, right?
It's time for your comeback. Earn a degree that does more from a name that means more. Come back with the power of Purdue behind you.
Basically, what you want to do here is to create a ladder where folks can get a taste of what you offer and then keep climbing upwards if they want more. And if your business is really heavily reliant on handmade goods, if you have to produce every single one of the items that you sell basically by hand, really challenge yourself and think about ways that you could diversify. Like, could you educate if you wanted to? Would you be open to releasing an online course or journaling prompts or a PDF guide or what have you, right? Or if you don't want to be an educator, think about the emotional transformation that folks look for in your content and your products and other ways you could provide that for them. Like, for example, let's say that you were a ceramic artist and the theme of your work is really to bring folks a sense of inner peace and tranquility, right? You want folks to slow down, to meditate a little bit. I wonder if you couldn't release like an album of guided meditation tracks where like, 20, 30 minutes long, and that's just a thing that you have now out into the world. Or you release journaling prompts, or even a kind of guided meditation journal that you design yourself, again, like my book, but then you have a physical version, or you make it a PDF, kind of whatever, right? But I wonder if there are ways where you can be really creative and think about who can deliver the value of your business and your work in a different way to your customer, and a way that would enable you to have more freedom. It would enable you to not have to put in additional effort for every single sale. Do you get what I mean? Thinking about money in this way has massively helped me. And again, I come from a very low income background. I have had to really unpack this kind of scarcity mindset that I've had around money for a very long time, my entire life, right? But that's not a productive way to run a business. If you want your business to be able to give you the life that you've always wanted, you have to kind of be willing to grow as a person and to unpack lots of these mindsets and these beliefs around money that might hold you back. So anyway, I hope this video was helpful. And if you want to grab that worksheet before you go, please do. And if you want to keep hanging out, I will put a video somewhere on the screen here. Let me know your thoughts on this. Let me know how you have healed your own relationship with money in your own business. And I'll see you there. Bye.
There's an easier way. From little fixes to big projects, taking care of your home is easy with Thumbtack. Download the Thumbtack app and start caring for your home today.
My accounting team just sent me an update on my finances, and as of November, my business has brought in over $139,000 in revenue. It is likely almost certain I will end the year having made at least 150K. That represents almost a 50% increase compared to last year. What I have done differently this past year are 5 new habits I've been incorporating every single week into my business. I'm going to walk you through these 5 habits so that you can have your best revenue year yet in 2026. Starting with habit number 1, and thank you to Squarespace for sponsoring this video. So a few weeks ago, I was on a call with Melina, one of these students in my paid community. If you've seen my Business Breakthrough series, you'll know Melina and her work. She creates these absolutely stunning illustrations of the Fae. Melina joined my program a few months ago, and on a recent call brought up email newsletters. She knew that she should have one, that only being able to connect with her audience through Instagram would not set her business up for success long term, but the whole thing just didn't seem fun. It just didn't. It felt like just another thing on her to-do list. And she felt really unsure of how to even write emails her audience would want to read. And I feel like a lot of stuff in business can be like this. Like there is truly just so many things that you have to do every single week. And it can take so much time away from your creative practice. So my question always becomes, can I make this creative work? Can I make it fun? Because the very thing that got us into this game, our creativity, is truly the biggest advantage that we have. And Melina doesn't just create beautiful illustrations. For ages now, she has had all of these ideas about the world that her art is set in. She has desperately wanted to do more world building. So that gave me an idea. What if her newsletter wasn't just marketing? What if it was an opportunity for her to be creative, an opportunity for her to do all of this world building work that she has desperately wanted to make time for? She could write about the mythology behind her Fae illustrations, the rules of her world, the stories that inform each piece, and then at the end of each newsletter, just a simple call to action for her prints. And that simple reframe made it so much more exciting for her because we made this vital but kind of boring business task into an opportunity to be creative.
Oh my god, I don't know, like my mind is blown right now. Like it's so obvious. Like when you say it, but it's like it wasn't.
And that's the first habit that I want you to take into the new year, to treat even your boring business tasks like creative projects. Look for ways that you can make them fun and creative for yourself. The way to actually be consistent is to make it enjoyable. Maybe for you, that is turning product photography for your online shop into an art-directed photo shoot where you wholeheartedly lean into the vibe of your work. Or you turn your Instagram captions into flash fiction. Allow yourself to experiment with the parts of your business that feel like obligations and see what happens when you approach them with the same energy that you bring to your creative work. Your creativity, the lens through which you see the world, is one of, if not the coolest thing that makes you who you are. So use it. Your creative practice and your marketing do not have to be two entirely separate things. If you start thinking about ways that you can kind of weave them together, you will become more memorable online, get better results, and have more fun. So I recently did something that felt absolutely brutal in the moment, but ended up being one of the best choices I've made in the past 3 months. I scheduled 13 one-on-one meetings over the course of 2 days. It was like 6 hours a day from 11 a.m. to God even knows when, back-to-back meetings with my students. It was kind of exhausting at the end of it, not gonna lie. I do not usually do that, but the students had a great time. I was super locked in. I was in the zone. And I ended up being able to meet with a massive portion of the students in my program. I got to know what their problems were, what they're struggling with, give them actionable feedback, and we had a great time together. And I had the entire next week after that with 0 meetings on my calendar. I am the kind of person that just really needs long, uninterrupted periods of deep work to get things done. Like, if I have a big project, I cannot make progress on it in like 15 to 45 minute bursts between meetings. I just can't. I wish I could. Unfortunately, my brain does not work that way. But when I cleared out my entire schedule for that week, I got so much done. I wrote outlines for basically all of the videos I'll be creating for you guys over the next like 6 weeks. And then I also wrote and recorded 4 lessons for an online course I'm working on for my students, and then scripted 2 more I'll film this weekend on top of that. It was incredible. I got so much done. It was amazing. It sounds like a lot, I know, and it is. My hands did hurt from all the typing, but this is also the kind of stuff that you can accomplish if you allow yourself to work the way you want to work. If you design your life around these deep work sessions and cluster all of the admin stuff, all of the meetings, all of the email writing into big chunks in your week. And that is the next habit that I want you to bring into the new year, to cluster all of the admin stuff, all of the meetings together, so that you can make time for deep work sessions where you actually get things done.
You always wondered why that app didn't exist. Now you can make it. Meet Replit Agent. Want a custom workout plan? Make an app for that. Have a great idea at 2 a.m.? Make an app for that. Need to run an analysis? Or learn with your kids? Make an app for that too. This isn't just making apps.
The vast majority of my revenue growth this past year came from my own products. YouTube AdSense, not brand deals, my own stuff. And to achieve that growth, I have had to carve out time to actually create those products. But every single hour that I spent has paid for itself tenfold. So I want you to ask yourself, what kind of project could lead to that kind of growth for your business? What big things actually move the needle that you have been neglecting? That's what I would call a 10x task. A task that, when done correctly, could 10x your business. And if you want help identifying what those could be for you and your business, I have put together a free worksheet for you. It is in the description. I strongly recommend that you check it out. It was designed to go along with this video. One thing I have had to really guard against in my own business is this instinctive obsession that you can get with vanity metrics when you start posting things online. Your follower or subscriber count, even how many views or likes you get, maximizing those metrics is just not the goal. These platforms have spent decades and billions of dollars trying to make themselves as addicting as possible, to hack our brains so we are just constantly obsessed with one-upping ourselves. And listen, I love it when a graph goes up and to the right as much as the next girl, okay? I am not immune to that. But you know what I love more? Sales. Actual tangible business results, because likes cannot pay your bills. You have to remember that the goal of posting on social media is to help you build your business, to get people onto your email list, to have them buy your work. If you are a business owner, content creation is a means to an end. And like I mentioned earlier, I totally believe in making it fun for yourself. To make content creation, even though it is a means to an end, like something fun and creative, it is an opportunity for me to express myself. But you don't want to be posting content into the void and not have it actually serve your business. You want it to lead to conversions. You want to have email signups. You want to have sales, right? That is the entire point. That is the reason why you are here. So in 2026, I really want you to ditch the vanity metrics, to stop optimizing for views, and to start thinking about how you can optimize for conversions, for actual results. And the simplest way to do this is to just be observant, to notice when a spike in sales or email signups or whatever you are optimizing for happens, and then ask yourself, okay, what happened just before this? What did I post? What was that post like? What format did I use? How did I talk about my work? Did I have a call to action? If so, what was it? Was there a particular trending audio that I used? Did I film in a different location than normal? Did I try something different? Once you practice being observant to kind of link and correlate results with content together, you get data, you collect data, and with that data, you can start optimizing. And this has genuinely been extremely healing for my relationship with socials. This habit is truly the best way to gain a very deep understanding of your business and what content will actually drive sales. That information, you can easily plan out your next marketing campaign, your next collection launch, your next, I don't know, $2,000 weekend if you want to. It will become trivial, but you can't do that if you don't collect the data. So if you try one thing from this video, please let it be that one. And actually, speaking of making things easier for yourself, when I put together that worksheet that I mentioned earlier, I had to create a landing page for it. I had to have a way for you to actually get that worksheet, right? And that is where Squarespace comes in, who are very kindly sponsoring this video. I have used Squarespace to create simple landing pages for years now. I have tried plenty of other services, don't get me wrong, but I always come back to Squarespace because of how easy it is to use. I can design a site that looks great and perfectly matches my brand in like 15 minutes, an hour. Their fluid engine system means creating a site is genuinely as easy as dragging and dropping elements wherever you want them. I can adjust the colors of my site in like 3 clicks and swap out images whenever I want to. But if you are not like me, if you do not want to be in like the nitty-gritty of your website design, their award-winning templates look amazing on day one. And their e-commerce features mean that Squarespace is a platform that can grow with you, whether you are selling physical products, booking appointments, or teaching online courses. If you want to give it a try, go to squarespace.com/Kelsey Rodriguez and use my code Kelsey Rodriguez for 10% off your first purchase of a website or domain. And speaking of sales, one of the things that I talk to creatives about genuinely all of the time is this fear of being too salesy. People are really worried that if they promote their work basically at all, they will like anamorphs transition into a sleazy, like oily haired used car salesman that makes you feel like you have to take a shower as soon as you leave his presence, that kind of pressures or coerces you into buying a car that you did not need or really want, that gives you a bad experience. And that's not true. Like, the world is not this black and white. Just because there is a bad way to do sales does not mean there isn't also a good way to do sales. And the reality is that no matter how many views you are getting, people will not buy from you if they don't know what you're selling, if they don't know your product exists, what it is, who it's for, and how it can help them, right? And you might genuinely not even need more followers. You might actually be able to 10x your business by just selling to the ones that you already have. If you are using the like vaguest words humanly possible whenever you have a new product that you want to sell, if you are only posting once and then kind of ghosting your own business, if you are incredibly conflict avoidant to the point where you hardly explain what it is that you even do or offer, you are doing your business, first of all, and your work a disservice. I know I say it constantly on this channel, but people only ever see a fraction of what you post. They only ever watch like 30% of your videos, right? So if you want to get more sales, you have to sell more consistently. You have to become more comfortable with this. And it doesn't have to feel bad. I'm reading this book right now. This book is called The Transparency Sale by Todd Caponi. Yeah, Todd Caponi. And in it, he talks about how the best approach to sales is just talking to your customer like a normal person. By just talking honestly about the benefits of your work, and if your work has flaws, if it might not be for someone, to talk about that too. To be like, hey, I want to help you make the best choice for you, even if that means that you don't buy from me. Could you imagine if you walked to a car dealership and that was the approach? If they were like, hey, I just want to help you buy a car, even if it's not from me, that would build so much more trust, actually. And this book has just genuinely been so helpful for that. Just kind of reminding me that the best approach to sales is just talking like a normal person, just helping your customer get the best possible result for them and for your business. If you're not like really transformation focused, so to speak, just talk about your work. Talk about the feelings behind your work, the emotions behind your work, the stories you are trying to tell. Be really honest about that. Don't allow your work to just speak for itself. What does that even mean? Say things out loud, please. Say things to your customer. Describe your work. Tell stories. Build that relationship. Talk about the stories of your work, right? Like, truly, I think the best approach to sales is just communicating your message, your worldview, your point of view, your story. You don't have to do a call to action if you don't want to, but obviously I do recommend it. And you will see better results if you just have a habit of talking about your work to your customer. So anyway, that is the fourth habit that I want you to bring into 2026, to talk about your work like you are a normal person. I know so far in this video, I have given you a lot of homework, right? Things that I want you to start doing to grow your business in the new year. But whenever I hop on a call with a creative, I often find that they're doing too much. They are spending too much time on the wrong things. They're working long hours, they're stressed out, and the idea of posting more or investing more time in their business is a complete non-starter because they already feel like they are doing everything they can and not getting results. They're often trying to maintain a presence on at least 3 social platforms, sell at in-person events, grow their online store, start a newsletter, and juggle school or a full-time job or family on top of that. And if that's you, it is completely normal to feel overwhelmed. You are absolutely doing way too much. So just let go. You do not need to be posting on more than one platform. You don't, I promise. I know that you likely feel FOMO about it. You are worried about like putting your eggs all in the basket, and that's fair, but think about what your online presence could look like if you were to just focus on one platform. The one platform where you were getting the best results or you had the best potential for discovery. Suddenly, you have twice as much energy, if not more than that, to focus on one thing, on one place, on one job. For 5 years now, I have posted exclusively on YouTube. I scaled my business to 6 figures in 2023 entirely off of the reach that I got on this platform. And I know for an honest to God fact that the only reason that I was able to do that so quickly was because I did not split my focus. I allowed myself to dive all in into one thing. It was only this year, 2025, where I started to send consistent email newsletters and grow my email list. And in 2026, I might dip my toes into Instagram and short form content seriously for the first time in over 5 years. You do not need to be everywhere. You do not need to do everything. You are just one person. It is unreasonable to expect this of yourself. It is unkind to expect this of your.
Thinking about a career in the fast-growing field of UX design? A Google Career Certificate can help you learn the fundamentals of user experience design, master tools like Figma and Adobe XD, and build a portfolio to stand out to employers. Enroll today.
Save time creating content and generate a high-quality clone of your voice with 11 Labs. Change the way you record podcasts, voiceovers, and branded content with the #1 AI-powered voice-generating technology. Stop searching for the perfect voice and stop wasting time re-recording take after take. Try 11 Labs for free and start elevating your content today.
And that's why the 5th habit that I want you to take into the new year is this. Every single week, identify one thing you are going to stop doing in your business. Posting on platforms that aren't giving you results, tasks that just waste your time, or products that aren't selling. Even a creative medium that does not spark joy for you anymore. If you allow yourself to distill your business into the pure fundamentals, I can almost promise you 2026 will be the best year for revenue you have ever had. So, to summarize, let's go over the 5 habits that I covered today. Number 1, treat all of your boring business tasks like they are creative projects. Allow yourself to have fun, right? And number 2, cluster all of your admin work together. This way, you'll have more time for deep work sessions and the big projects that create massive leaps forward in your business. Number 3, track conversions, not vanity metrics. And number 4, talk about your products often and like a normal person to drive sales. And finally, habit number 5, is to not be afraid of cutting tasks from your to-do list to narrowing your focus. And I know a lot of this sounds simple, almost too simple, and that's a good thing. That was by design. I have deliberately crafted this video to be simple because I believe that business and marketing does not have to be complicated. My whole mission statement is to make this easy for you. But the thing is, this stuff is easy. It's easy to learn, right? It's much harder to actually put into practice. The things that will separate the folks that do not succeed this year, that do not scale their business, from the ones that do, is how consistent you are in the application, how serious you take the implementation of all of this, really basic, really simple advice. So again, I created that free worksheet for you. It goes through all of this stuff and helps you identify what tasks you should actually be focusing on in your business. I think it'll really help. My students really like it so far. And that's kind of it for this video. If you want to keep hanging out, watch a video on the screen and I will talk to you later. Bye.
Now, most people are going to use this to just blast links to their products, but I'll be doing something much smarter for myself.
I am going to take a break for now. There's a chance I may stream a little bit later. Like I said, I want to hurry up and get through with the remaining yellow and a couple of orange gummy bears so that I can do another time lapse with the green color. I don't want the clip to have too much of the same color going on for too long. So I wanted to try to get to that today. So I still have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 yellow gummy bears to detail 8, because that's one before we get to the green. But then there's only 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There's only 9 green gummy bears. So hopefully I can get all of those in one session so that the time lapse will show each one of them, popping out and coming more to life. It's Saturday. We can definitely get to that by tomorrow. Like I said, if I come in here and do another hour or so, I should be able to finish the yellow ones today. I am going to. I got to apply for this art show and I need to create a business bank account to connect to my website. Because I got a couple of sales on my website, but it's just sitting like in limbo because I don't have my business. I could connect my private account and I thought about doing that, but I think I really just need to make a business banking account and just put all the money in there and keep it completely separate. So I need to get that done this morning. I might run to the grocery store. Oh man, oh shit, this might be a busy day, but it'll be productive though. So Wendy, as always, I really appreciate you keeping me company while we're in here working on these paintings. 2026, we're gonna try to do it real big this year. At least try, And if I fail, that's okay. It ain't like I ain't never failed before. But a motherfucker can't say at least I ain't trying. Yeah. Give it the honest 1-2. All right, so let's go do some computer stuff. Oh my God, I fucking hate this part. And the girl tries to, well, make it into something creative. Like, yeah, right. Okay, marketing and branding. I might even make a post for Prince, like she said, promote your business. People will only see 30% of the content you post. So all of your content should be promoting your business. So I want to check and see what prints I have on hand and just go ahead and be like, yo, there's a flash sale. I got some prints from 2025 I'm trying to offload. Man, y'all can get these shits for $40 plus shipping, because I'm not paying for your shipping. But I actually might do that today. Yeah. Well, I hope you enjoy your Saturday, and I'll get with you next time. Peace. We're out of here.